Have you ever stayed at a 3 or 4 star resort hotel? Have you ever attended a Broadway or a Vegas style show like Cats, Cirque du Soleil, or the Blue Man Group? Have you ever eaten at a restaurant where every course of every meal was created under the supervision of a classically trained chef? I'm Briscoe Woods, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you how, by making your next vacation a cruise, you can experience these things and more every day of that vacation. You'll see how a cruise compares to a land vacation monetarily, and then I'll tell you about two factors that draw people back to cruising over and over: the food and the entertainment. What might surprise you is that not only can you experience these things every day of your vacation, but for less than a comparable land vacation may cost. Now, I did some research on the internet, something you can do easy using Hotels.com, Orbitz, and Vegas.com. And what I discovered was that for a comparable 3 or 4 star hotel, resort hotel, a good vacation dinner, and a reasonable show, you're going to spend upwards of $250 each per night on a land vacation. Erica Silverstein, senior editor for Cruise Critic, stated in her article Top 10 Reasons to Cruise, "We regularly see fares on mainstream cruise lines for under $100 per person per night, which is astonishingly cheaper than you'd spend on land for a hotel dinner and a show." Debbie Fogel, in her article 10 Good Reasons to Cruise, said you can travel quite comfortably for about $150 per day, and that includes both your stateroom and your hotel. Now, folks, as someone who's taken multiple cruises, I'll not only vouch for those two statements, but I'll also state this: there are so many extras that are included in cruising that if you had to pay for all of that on top of the dinner and the lodging and the shows, well, you'd have to have a lot better job than I do. All of the workshops, the demonstrations, the tours of the boat, the daily entertainment, the breakfast, lunch, dinner, coffee, ice cream, room service. Did I mention the food? There is seriously such a large selection of food on board that if you haven't witnessed it, you'll find it hard to believe. There is food available to you literally 24 hours a day. The main dining rooms of very glamorous settings usually have an early and a late seating. This is to accommodate for not only the amount of passengers that use the main dining rooms, but for the entertainment venues. The main shows will have two showings, an early and a late, so that if you want to enjoy the entertainment and you want to enjoy the dining room, you don't have to choose. You can do both. And there's also the buffet. It varies per ship. Some of them are open 24 hours a day. Some of them close only for a couple of hours between the late night crowd and the early morning breakfast crowd. And I can't say enough about just the quantity and quality of food that's on the buffet. They have everything from the ultra healthy to the ultra unhealthy, so you can eat as much or as little and as healthy and unhealthy as you like. Then there are several other dining venues across the ship, from snack bars, coffee shops, ice cream parlors, pizza, burger joints. And don't forget, 24 hours a day room service is available to you on those rare occasions when you're actually in your room and hungry. A venue that's becoming more and more popular are what I call upcharge restaurants. It's a restaurant on the ship where you have to actually pay to go eat there. Usually it's a set fare, $15 to about $40 each. And these restaurants will specialize in a particular fare. They'll be an Asian place or a Mexican place, Italian or French place, or a good old American steakhouse. In my opinion, you could do a lot worse than just sticking with the food that your ticket pays for. It's going to be fantastic, and you're not going to miss out on anything, especially on lobster night. I usually tell them just bring me 2 of those things out here to start with. David Owen of the New Yorker said in his article, Floating Feasts, Oasis of the Seas passengers eat a metric ton of lobster during a typical 7-day cruise. I don't doubt that for a second. But I will tell you there are other things besides food that attract people to cruising. One of the most anticipated of some cruisers is the entertainment. The Norwegian Epic was the first ship to introduce passengers to the Blue Man Group. Fantastic show. If you haven't seen it, I really enjoy them. Oasis of the Seas has had cats and hairspray, and I'm talking about the Broadway productions, not felines and aerosols. Several Norwegian ships have the Second City, an hilarious improv group from Chicago that spawned many of Saturday Night Live's not ready for prime time players. And all of the cruise lines have their own production troupes that really put on entertaining shows. There are always other venues, bars with piano players, guitarists, and singers. One of my favorites was Fat Cats, the blues bar on Norwegian Epic. The Epic also has a dueling piano bar, which was a great show. Many other shows range from well-known artists that you might have seen on TV or even seen in person to comedians and magicians and all types of performers. We saw the Tenors of Rock on the Celebrity Summit, and they put on a fantastic show. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting. It was actually a lot better. And it's not even all about the nightlife. Many types of entertainment going on during the day. My wife and I really enjoyed watching the Zumba class on our last cruise. They did that a couple of times a day, and the instructor or the leader was extremely animated, just hilarious. There's crew-led dance parties, pool volleyball, reggae bands. I've even seen line dancing. For the folks that want to spend time in the AC, out of the sun, where it's cool, there's a trivia game every day, and art shows, and auctions, wine tasting classes, and tours of different parts of the ship like the galleys. That's what they call their kitchens. Some ships have ice skating rinks, movie theaters. I've even seen a bowling alley. And of course, if you get tired of your money, they've got the casinos. I think it's pretty safe to say that if you get bored, it's your own fault. Fran Golden of AARP said in her article, 8 Biggest Cruise Ship Myths, these days some ships are the size of small towns, and most offer entertainment and activities of every kind, from the cerebral to the hedonistic, both day and night. I've been on 7 cruises, 6 in the past 10 years. We've cruised 4 different cruise lines, 7 different cruise ships, and well over 30 ports of call. And I really don't know of a more affordable way to take a vacation for what you get. Paul Durant stated in his article for the World Press titled Why Cruise? Cruises are fun, cruises are great value, cruises provide an opportunity to visit world-famous places that some would never be able to afford if they had to pay for the food, transportation, and accommodations separately. Now, I didn't even talk about ports of call or excursions. There's just so much to taking a cruise for a vacation that you really need to experience it for yourself. Don't worry about feeling cooped in on the ship. Don't worry about getting seasick. Don't worry about getting bored because there's nothing to do. And seriously, don't worry about being hungry. I'll leave you with this quote from Mark Twain, who said, 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed in the things you didn't do than in the things you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover.